Jill, when are you going to be coming back to my brother's house after being at your parents' place for so long? Hi there, Maya. His name's Little Man, right? Well, it's been 3 months now since you gave birth to Little Man there, right? Little Man? Yeah. There have been a few things going on here, and so I haven't been able to leave just yet. And my older brother is all right with you just staying there for that long and never coming back to him? Of course he is, and I'm not going to be here too much longer. Actually, it was him that told me to stay here a bit longer in the first place. I had some things that I needed help with, as well as needing to help with. Oh, is that so? So that's what's been going on there. What do you mean by that? Nothing in particular. I didn't mean to make that seem like anything, actually. I just thought that since it's been so long since you've left your parents' place, maybe you and my brother ended up getting a divorce or something serious? LOL. I see. Well, there's nothing like that going on between us, so don't worry. Your brother and I still love one another very much, and have even had a baby now to prove that. Well, that's too bad, actually. LOL. Ugh, it was only a matter of time. I knew you'd say something like that, Maya. I'm sure that you're trying to mess with me to make your feelings for me known, but because of how much you hate me for no reason, it's actually quite funny, LOL. What? Looks like my boy is waking up now, so I have to go and see if he needs any food. See ya. Axel, thank you for coming over here a few days ago. It was nice of you to bring all those snacks for us, as well as the blanket I'd asked for.
Hey, Jill, don't worry about it. How's your mum's lower back been doing? I know it was in pretty rough shape the last time I came over. Seems like she was still having a tough time bending over to grab things.
Actually, she's gotten a whole lot better now, which is a huge surprise for me. And I feel that me not being around the house anymore might be all right with her. She seems to have a hang on things again, and doesn't really ask me to help her either now. And she's even able to help my dad again, so that's some miraculous progress.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
But based on timing, there's still another 2 weeks, right? I know that I'll have to come back there at least once soon, but having to bring the baby with me might make it a bit of a challenge, and he's so used to being here now.
You have a good point there. I'm sure you want to get everything you need to taken care of quickly as possible. So it's better to not have our baby mixed in all the commotion.
Well, while I go, I'll make sure that my parents keep a good eye on him, and see if he even notices me being gone. That way I'll have my hands free and should get everything handled within a day.
Oh, well, if you do that, he might be alright. If you don't have a problem with doing that, then I'm totally on board.
Then I'll go ahead and have a talk with my parents about that and the plan. Since my mom's back is getting better, I think she won't mind spending the day alone with her grandbaby. LOL.
Alright. And when you have more details on what will happen with that, let me know. Now I need to start getting back to my office to finish up today's work.
Okay. Thank you for everything, Axel, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Jill? Are you on your way here right now?
Yeah? I took off just a half an hour ago in the car. And I'm at a rest stop right now going to the bathroom before getting back on the road.
I see.
Did something happen that I should be aware of?
Well, something that's a bit of a problem has come up. I was just asked to come into work today out of nowhere. I was told by my manager that one of our systems is having some issues and that I'm the only one that should know how to handle and fix said issue.
Oh, is that so? Well, that kind of hampers our plans a little.
I think if the issue is what I think it is, then I'll be able to come back home by later this evening.
All right. I'll do what I can when I arrive at the house. It'll probably take me a bit longer because I won't have you around to handle the heavy stuff.
I'm sorry about this, but try and take it easy. If need be, you can call my uncle, and I'm sure he'll come to help.
I'll see how everything goes for me first. Good luck with work today, and I hope you're able to fix that issue soon. Jill! You're coming over right now, right? But be warned that you're not going to be able to get inside the house. Because this house is now going to be my house. I've already gone and sold all your things to a pawn shop just a bit ago, and used the money from your things to pay for the moving truck to bring all my furniture and stuff. LOL. Man, I was kicked out of that apartment I'd been living in before by myself, and this whole time I was looking for a good place to move into. But because of you guys, I've been able to move from that musty one-room apartment into this large and open place. I'm so lucky. Ah, and another thing. This house is going to be where my boyfriend and I start our romantic lives together, so you are not allowed to even step onto the property. LOL. Goodbye. LOL. What? Maya, what's all this about? What is this about a huge and open house? That's... Ah, you're finally responding to me. You took so long to reply, LOL. I was in my car driving home. But right now I've stopped at a gas station to take a break and grab some food. Maya, what are you doing in some stranger's house right now? I told you. Starting today and going forward, I'll be living here with my boyfriend. In other words, you no longer have a house of your own, so go on back to your parents' house, please. LOL. How did you get into the house with it being locked? I don't ever remember you having a key to the place. When we were all back at my parents' house a while back, I found the key in my brother's key case and stole it out of there for a few hours to make a duplicate. You've gone and done yet another needless thing. Why would you do something like that? Because you and my older brother are going to be getting divorced, right? Huh? Why would we do anything like that? Because the reason for you taking so long to come back to my brother is that you wanted to stay there with your parents because you don't love my brother anymore, right? And I've noticed that ever since you went back to your parents' place, my brother had to go there more and more often. That right there is something a man would do when he realizes that his wife is never coming home and wants a divorce. LOL. I can see that you've really gone off the rails and started making up a fake scenario, but there's a reason for me staying at my parents' house a bit longer. There have been a few things going on here that required me to stay. What are those few things? Well, to start off, after having my son, my health wasn't doing too well and my energy wasn't coming back. And after around 2 months of slowly getting my energy back and planning on going home, my mom ended up pulling her lower back pretty badly. And since I still had a bit of time left before I needed to go back to work, I decided I'd stay with my parents a bit longer and help my mom around the house. But my brother has been wanting to get a divorce now too, right? I know that for sure. Because I was at my parents' house for a longer time? That's right. I'm sorry, but you're just making things up now. I know I just told you this a second ago, but I took all your things and sold them to the nearby pawn shop. LOL. So now there's not a single thing of yours left in this house for you to get. LOL. I can see that you're set on the idea that all of those things you just sold were my things. The furniture, the appliances, clothing, and so on. That's right, LOL. When I came into this house, there was nothing in any of the other rooms besides the one with all your things. So I assume my brother already moved out and back to my mom and dad's place to prepare for the divorce, LOL. Well, all of that was stuff that I didn't need. Huh? A while back we had planned on moving out of that house. While I was back at my parents' home waiting to have my baby, Axel worked to get the house all packed up so that we could move out. And that room closest to the front door was just where we placed all my unneeded things. And all the things we planned to have taken to our new house is being kept in a storage unit close by to the house. Huh? Is that right? I'm sure when you went and sold the desk in there and my drawers, there was nothing in them, right? Did you not notice that? Now that you mention it, the person at the pawn shop never said anything about needing to remove anything from inside them. And another thing, I was planning on coming back to that house to finish cleaning all of my stuff up and selling it myself, as well as to clean out the house and make it look relatively new again. But now that you've done a lot of that, you've helped me a bunch, LOL. Huh? And so for getting that all taken care of for me, you can go ahead and use the money you made selling my leftover things on whatever you want. Wait, could that have all been you trying to mess with me again by thinking that you could force me out of the house? Well, thanks for that. What the heck? You're just trying to act all tough now because I've stolen your house, LOL. Well, no matter what you try to say to me, my boyfriend and I are making this house ours now, and we're going to renovate it any way we please. Okay, do whatever you want with the place. You're still going to act tough in front of me? LOL. I'm not going to feel bad for you after doing this, so don't get your hopes up that you'll get the house back. Huh? We have already changed the name on the front of the house to ours, and we've gotten rid of all your things in this place. So no matter what, no matter how you try and cope with it, this is my house. If you come here, we'll call the police on you. LOL. I still have some things to say. What now? Huh? You can do whatever you want there, but only for today. Huh? I was only planning to use today to clean the place out and fix any issues that still might have plagued the house. But now that you guys have done most of that for me, I'll be handing the house back to the landlord tomorrow. Huh? Hand it over? To the landlord? Jill! What is going on now? An old man just came here and kicked the two of us out of the house. And just before he had the two of us kicked out, he told us to both clean all the corners of the house until it shined and there were no more stains. And everything we had just moved inside today, all the furniture and appliances, he had us take them all outside and into the yard. I had just made our room into a cute and beautiful space for my boyfriend and I, and that man had us tear it all down and ruin it. And at the end of all this, my boyfriend yelled at me saying he never asked to have something like this happen to him, and he ran off. What is wrong with this geezer? You still don't understand? What am I supposed to understand after all of this? Do you know who the owner of that house actually is? I do. This house belongs to my brother, right? He was the one that bought this whole house the moment you got married to him. I remember how it was so old and run down when he first bought it, but then he did a huge reformation on the house and made it look so nice that even I was jealous of it. And that's why I've come to take it now. Well, that house is the place that your brother and I have been renting from a distant uncle of yours. Huh? Jeez. I'm glad that I kept the fact that we were moving out a secret from you and your family for a while. If I'd told you about this all sooner, you might have started to act like even more of a spoiled brat, and we might have had to call the police on you or something for trying to trespass. Why would you do that? Because you'd be trespassing. Well, actually, you still have been since that's not our house. Maya, really, you've really done it this time. You're lying, right? Axel! Where did you and Jill move to now? Tell me the address, please.
What do you want? I don't have time for you right now, Maya.
I tried to talk with Jill some more about this, but I think she's gone and blocked me now. So I can only talk to you now, Axel.
By the way, just a few days ago, didn't our uncle have you taken care of after going into his house?
Well, I don't want to be around him anymore, and that's why I'm going to come to you now.
You think so?
At this point, I'd even be okay with living around some ugly hag like Jill, because I'd at least have a place to sleep. Ugh, if I don't hurry up, he's going to come and get me again. Tell me where your new house is now.
You think I'm going to let you come and live with us after you said such horrible things about my wife?
Huh?
For a while now, the two of us have been wanting to go overseas. And I think it's about that time.
Overseas?
Yep. I'm sure you're aware that I work in the same company as Jill does. But for a while now, we've had plans on moving out of the country to go live somewhere in Europe with our baby boy. So we're in New York at the moment, staying in a company house, getting some training so we can be relocated to an office over there.
New York? That's too far for me to drive all the way to.
Stop acting like a brat and go back to your uncle. I'm sure that he's willing to let you start working for a company he owns even.
He told me that I'd have to go to every floor of the office building and clean all the toilets on each floor for him, and I can't use the elevator.
Really? Well, that seems like a good way to get you to stop acting so spoiled and learn how to become a responsible young adult.
It's not good.
Do your best, Maya.
I don't want to. That last conversation that my husband and his sister had over text was later shown to me by him, but right after that, he told me that he really wants to move overseas now and get away from his sister as soon as possible. But I told him we still have training to complete yet, and that I want our boy to at least be 1 year old before we go, and so he'll have to wait. LOL. And as for Maya, who's now under the care of her distant uncle who's even allowed her to work for him, she's doing just as she'd said, and is having to clean toilets on every floor of that office building 3 times a day. And since she never was the kind of person to go out a lot and move, her body had a hard time keeping up with the stairs she had to go up and down, leaving her in pain as her muscles cramped up. But I've heard from Axel that the next thing his uncle has planned for her is that once she's gained the strength to start getting all the cleaning done on time, he'll begin to give her even more tasks so that she never feels the job is easy. And by doing that, she'll hopefully begin to have a change of heart and realize that she can't force her way into everything without there being consequences. I just hope that plan works, and that one day my son can meet his only aunt back in the US. But if that can't happen, it's probably for the better. LOL. Jenny, are you there? Can we talk?
Oh, hello, Cynthia, was it? I'm on my company break now, so I'm okay for 10 minutes or so.
Oh, I see. You're talking to your future, possible mother-in-law, and you give me a time limit to talk?
That has nothing to do with it. It's just that this is the only opportunity for a little free time. I'm really busy the rest of the day. I need this break.
But if you are going to get along with me in the future, I recommend that you make me your priority.
I really can't make such a promise.
Excuse me?
Anyway, what's this about? I don't have much time left on my break. I have to shut off my phone when my break ends, so I would appreciate it if you could get on with it.
Your precious little break, huh? All right. Well, your attitude is part of it too, so yes, let's get on with it. I'm contacting you because, well, I want you to quit your job.
Pardon me?
I said, if you want to marry my son, I want you to quit your job.
Why should I do that?
Because it would interfere with you being a good housewife. That's why. If you can't do that, well, I will not allow you to marry my son. I would ask you to terminate the relationship.
That's being a little selfish, wouldn't you say?
It's that, or you're gone. I will not change my views.
I really don't think Brad agrees to this. I mean, he has a say in this too.
Brad has nothing to do with it. If I say no, he'll go along with it without question.
Are you serious?
Yes, of course I am. I know my son. Brad has always been obedient. He cares for his mother and father. Although I was surprised that he picked a woman like you. But I'm sure you talked him into all this. I don't know what you said to him, but I know you probably tricked him. I'm sure if I have a little talk with him, he'll realize his mistake.
Do you really think I tricked Brad into loving me? Why would I even do that?
Oh, please, just pipe down, would you? I don't want to hear any more of your back talk. I was right. You really need more discipline if you're going to marry my son. I will allow you to marry my son if you agree to quit your job and have me train you to be a good housewife. If you can't do that, I will not give my blessing to this marriage.
I'm sorry, my client just arrived. I have to go. We'll talk later.
Huh? What? Wait a second, Jenny. Just have the guy wait. This is more important. Didn't I just say to give your future mother-in-law top priority? Jenny, pick up. You will regret treating me like this.
Hey, Brad, when do you think I should tell your mom about my job?
I'm not sure. I guess it all depends on your dad's situation. Hey, did Mom contact you and say something?
Yeah, she said if I didn't quit my job, she wouldn't allow me to marry you.
Wait, what?
Maybe you should take a look at my line conversation with her today. Probably way faster. I'll send that portion to you.
Alright, go for it. Oh my god, what the hell is this? Doesn't she realize what kind of trouble we'd be in if you quit your job? Besides, I'm the one marrying you, not her. It's what I want.
Thanks for that, Brad. Makes me feel way better. But no matter what she says, there's no way I'm going to quit my job. Or should I say, it's impossible.
Yeah, well, I guess she doesn't know all the details, so she'll say what she wants.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We're just two people who fell in love and plan to get married. But it's really not that simple. There's that little point about your father that makes it complicated.
Yeah, I know. I really didn't want to tell my mom about it so soon, but she brought up the thing about introducing this girl. My mom, the great matchmaker. She was always trying to introduce me to one prospective wife or another. Anyways, it all depends on my dad, I suppose.
Maybe we should sit down with your dad sometime soon and discuss this. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe we have no other choice. The situation between you and Mom is getting way out of hand. Probably better to straighten this thing out ASAP.
Yeah, let's do that. Thanks, Brad.
Jenny, are you there? Or are you on your break and you can't talk? Just so you know, I called your office and told them that you'll be retiring from the company.
Excuse me?
I recently came into some interesting information. Apparently, you work for a company that does business with my husband's company. Is that true?
Where did...
This makes everything way easier. I told them all the negative aspects that I learned about you ever since Brad brought you home. I told them straight up, if you don't fire her right this minute, my husband will terminate all accounts with your company.
Hold on a second. What did you just say? What's going on? Mother? Why go so far?
My husband's company is one of the biggest and most influential companies around here. I figured your company was a mere subcontracting company, and you're just a lowly desk clerk. I'm right, aren't I? I'm sure the company HR department will contact you pretty soon, so you better be ready to accept the consequences. If you had just obeyed my request, I wouldn't have taken it this far.
Mother, I really don't know what you're talking about.
Now come on, Jenny. Look at the bright side. Now that you have no job, you can marry Brad, and I can start teaching you how to be a good housewife. What more can you ask for? I did you a favor.
I can't understand why you would go so far to make me quit.
It's for your own good.
Okay then, I guess I'll just have to terminate all negotiations with your husband's company.
Pardon me?
Cynthia, I know you've never worked a day in your life. I think that fact has worked to your disadvantage.
What are you talking about?
I have no problem with you being a full-time housewife and mother, don't get me wrong. But just because your husband owns a company doesn't give you the right to chime in regarding business matters. And I have to be honest, what you just did, that's blackmail. And you did it without even understanding the circumstances.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. After all that, you still talk like that. Well, that means I'm going to have to give you an even tougher curriculum. You better be ready for lots of sleepless nights.
I think it's going to be you who won't sleep well moving forward.
Excuse me?
I'm not sure how you'll take this. Will you just sulk and give up, or will you deem this as a lesson learned and change your ways? Which will it be? It's all up to you, Cynthia.
I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't understand you, Ginny. Why can't you make a little bit more sense and accept who you are? Jenny, pick up right this minute. We have to talk. What am I going to do? My husband just asked me for a divorce. He said that in order for the company to avoid bankruptcy, I'm an impediment. He said I would drag the company down. On top of that, he said that you're the CEO of the company my husband is working with. That can't be right, can it? Apparently, your company is way bigger and more influential than my husband's.
Yes, that's right. I really hate comparing our respective companies. You know which is bigger or more influential. We all have our good points and bad points, but your husband's company is currently on the verge of bankruptcy. And with the loss of a major client, that may be inevitable.
Why? Why did things end up this way?
I would ask you the same question, Cynthia. Why?
I really don't know.
It's because you've been obsessed with status. Brad was slated to take over from your husband someday as president. You figured you were the head of the family, as if you were the first lady, so to speak. You even used the employees of the company as your own personal staff, ordering employees to pick you up in the company car and take you shopping or to a luncheon with friends. I heard you even had employees come to your house to clean up and cook. Some even complained that you yelled at them, demanding that they take priority for you rather than the company. As a result, several key employees ended up resigning. The company was left with an inadequate workforce. They were not able to continue projects that were prematurely postponed due to the resignation of some of those key project managers. Well, subsequently, it had adverse effects on some of the company's major projects.
But I was only trying to...
Many of those major clients had no other choice but to terminate their contracts due to lack of progress. That's where my company stepped in. We looked over the finances and future potential of the company and decided to acquire the company. Simply put, we bought you out.
Bought us out? You mean your company purchased my husband's company? You own our company?
Yes. I won't get into the details regarding the negotiations, but some aspects of your husband's company, such as experience and connections in the industry, would be an advantage to us. Your husband made the decision to sell the company to us rather than see it go bankrupt. I think it was a very hard decision for him, but it was the right one in my opinion.
Bankrupt? Bought out? What's going on?
I'm sure your husband kept this all from you because he knew you would do something stupid to disrupt negotiations.
He kept that from me?
I'm sure you noticed that company employees have ignored your requests lately. Your husband already puts the gears into motion. It was only a matter of time before he was no longer the owner. So he told his employees to pay no attention to you, to just ignore you.
He did that?
We conducted negotiations numerous times over the last several months. It involved your husband, Brad, who was slated to take over the company, as well as me and my top executives. In the end, your husband opted to sell the company rather than see it go bankrupt. As for Brad, we decided that he would take over as vice president of the newly formed company, a subsidiary of my company.
Brad is going to be vice president of this company? And who's going to be the CEO of this company?
That would be me, for now.
Well, it should be Brad!
That was not solely my decision. It was voted on by the board of members, a sound business strategy. Well, during this time, Brad and I started seeing each other on occasion. First, it was all business, but gradually we got to know each other. Well, you know the rest. And that's where we are right now.
If that's the case, Could you talk to my husband and ask him to rethink this divorce?
You want me to persuade him?
Yes, that's right. It's the least you can do for me. If you do that, I'll let you work for however long you want, and we can forget all about that housewife training, and I'll give you permission to marry my son Brad. What do you say?
I don't need your permission to keep working or to marry Brad. I'll do as I please.
Pardon me? How could you say that?
I wish you would get this through your head that you have no power to change any of this.
Please, Jenny, don't be that way. Listen to me.
I believe your lawyer is on the way to discuss your divorce. You're probably pretty busy, so I better get going. Bye! 2 months later, we welcomed some new staff members to our company. Several members from the newly acquired company and our team started working together, and things got off to a great start. As for Cynthia, the divorce proceedings went through without a hitch, with her husband providing her with a reasonable financial package, and even introducing her to a fairly good employment opportunity. But on her first day on the job, she took an overly long lunch break without permission and got fired on the spot. She's never worked a proper job before and does not possess any sort of work ethic, it seems. So all she had to live on was her modest divorce money, but that hit rock bottom pretty quick. She ended up coming to me and Brad for help, but Brad brushed her off. She had no choice left but to return to her parents' place in the country. I hear she's living in some beat-up apartment there, working at some local grocery store, trying to make ends meet.